It was a show that went out 3 nights a week, live.
Wogan, you're on.
With a live audience. And everyone who is anyone dropping in. The great and the good, the bad and the ugly. They called it Wogan. I never knew why. So, if you're sitting comfortably, I'll show you something I made earlier. God knows what they'll make of us in 25 years' time. Today we've got a show stuffed to the gunnels with great showmen and women, including Liza Minnelli, Robin Williams, Tina Turner, and Sammy Davis Jr. All my guests today became huge international stars, thanks to a combination of talent, charisma, and staying power, and very little to do with me. My job was to cling to their coattails, and no better example of this than the very first Wogan, where I ended up clinging to Elton John.
I'm glad we rehearsed that.
Yes. There was just one thing during that.
Jane Torville and Christopher Dean live. Bye, Jane. All right.
Yes, I'm going to do that every week, everybody. If I live. These days, of course, Sir Elton is happily married to his longtime partner, David Furnish, so it's fascinating looking back on this interview, which came just after his first marriage in 1984. So how's married life suiting you?
It's very nice, nearly a year, you know. So we've seen each other 3 times. But no, we're very happy. Everything's going very, very well.
Yeah, me and the audience are very annoyed because we were about the only people you didn't ask to the wedding. We would have flown to Australia if you'd asked us, you know.
Well, that was the great thing about getting married in Australia is that everyone you wanted to avoid couldn't get there. Not meaning to be as nice. Thank you.
That's very nice. For Christmas.
Yes.
Was it a whirlwind romance? Because you haven't really talked about it. We saw the wedding,
yeah.
and then you've done this world tour and all the rest of it. Was it a whirlwind romance, or had you been cogitating it for a long time?
Well, I'd often done that. But it was, yes, it was kind of whirlwind. But I know I'd met her before. When I was an engineer, and I'd met her on the previous album. And she was engineering on the Breaking Hearts album. And it was just a chemistry between the two of us, and I had no doubts, and I thought that my time of life, it's about time I took the plunge. And we had no serious thoughts about... Well, obviously we had serious thoughts because getting married is a serious thing. You can't take it flippantly.
Yeah. She's a German lady.
Yeah.
Is there anything of the Teuton in her? Does she have strict ideas? Does she keep you in line?
Yeah, I think most people around me keep me in line, otherwise I'd go completely off the rails. That applies to people at Watford Football Club and my family, my mother and my father, the people who work for me. Because sometimes when in this business, you know, you think you're the right and you can get everything you want, and you're very hot-headed, and people around me just ignore me, which is the best thing to do. So I slam doors, and after 10 minutes, no one's coming, and I'm going, where are they all? And I know she's... I think everybody around me has been pretty level-headed as they treat me, because I'm a monster sometimes. I may be the nice little boy next door, but you should see me sometime.
You used to have a very, very... lurid sense of dress, but I see that she's quite...
No, I've toned down, yes.
So
the Vauxhall's outside, Terry.
It's a sort of tame black and white number you have there, apart from the luminous socks.
Yeah, I was going to wear pink glasses, but I think the camera people thought it might go crazy. Right. So, no. Yes, I never tame down as far as that goes.
I mean, you dress like that at home. You don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Do you? No, you don't.
I'm not saying what I've dressed around. This could be dangerous. Enough said.
No, you don't come down to breakfast dressed like that.
Oh, no, but I've got a fanfare. I play a fanfare every morning. So the staff know I'm up, so I come downstairs and there's me breakfast on the table. And it takes me just the length of the corridor to when they get to the solemn bit. Da, 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 da. And by the time I come down the stairs, the bacon sandwich is ready. Brilliant.
Do you have appropriate music for all of your functions?
Not really. I've got Otis Redding music for when I go to the toilet. No, not really. But I listen to music all the time. There's music all around the house.
When you see groups like Wham...
They're fabulous.
Or Duran Duran...
They're great. And I like Boy George. And I think it's very unfair to pick on them because Go and see them first and then make up your mind. And I've met these bands and they've got so much energy, they make you feel exhausted, because that's how Bernie and I used to be at 21 years of age, seeing Wham, seeing George, seeing those bands, Nick Kershaw and people like that. Fabulous. Oh, good luck to them. They're making great music, they're not doing anybody any harm, and I think give them a chance, you know, they're great. I really enjoy their music, and I think it's very silly just to dismiss things.
Yeah. But you looking at them, do they make you feel your age?
I do feel like a grandfather when I walk into the dressing room, you know, it's kind of like meeting the Queen, don't say anything. But it's kind of like, what do you say? There is an age gap, one feels an age gap. But they've always made me feel very welcome. And I'm basically a shy person anyway. And I do feel a difference. But some of the music they're making is tremendous. And they've always been very, very nice to me.
Do you feel that your flamboyance has diminished? Do you feel that you've changed at all? I mean, marriage and settling down obviously is bound to change.
I'm getting a bit more hinge and bracket, really, I suppose, in that direction. I'll always be sort of flamboyant in a certain way. I don't want to lose that part of that. But yes, I've toned down. I've had to tone down for my football club, for example, because there's no way I could turn up to Watford in this suit, otherwise the manager would fire me. Absolutely true. And I wouldn't dream of it. But, you know, it's good enough for your programme.
It might lead to a certain amount of racy talk. I was going to ask, because I'm sure there are lots of people who are trying to get their children to learn to play the piano.
Yes.
And the children might say, well, there's no need for me to learn. Look at Elton John, he just bangs it out there. Did you actually have a formal training?
Thank you.
No. In your own
I started to play, I played by ear.
course.
My grandmother and my mother brought me up because my father was away in the Air Force. And my grandmother played slightly and my mother's sister played. And so I started playing by ear when I was about 3 and 4. And I picked things up very quickly. And I think if you have a gift for the things, you do pick it up. And then my parents insisted that I went to musical education, which I didn't really want to do. And I qualified for the Royal Academy of Music as a day student on Saturdays when I was between the age of 11 to 15. And I got through all my exams. And I didn't really appreciate it much at the time because I'd rather been home playing football or something like that. But on recollection and on actually sort of thinking about it again, it taught me an awful lot. I'm very grateful that they did send me there because it did teach me a lot. And if you have a gift for something, you can only improve your technique by going to someone who can tell you about it.
So you say to youngsters, keep up the piano lesson?
Yeah, if they're forced into doing it and they've got no talent whatsoever, it's a waste of time. But if someone has got a talent for something and they play by it, then it is a good idea to go and have instruction and listen to someone else and learn. Yes, it is. You can always learn about something.
As ever, wise words from Sir Elton John. Now, Liza Minnelli, an entertainer who was born into the occasionally painful business they call show. Actress, singer, dancer, and of course, daughter of the legendary Judy Garland. Can I ask how your mother felt about you as a performer? Was she ever, when it became apparent that you were beginning to come through, you were succeeding, what was her reaction to that?
Oh, she was thrilled.
Was she?
Because we were great, great friends. And it was the same thing with my father. And they never stopped me, and they always encouraged me and gave me just smart advice, you know, for whatever advice counts. They knew that I wasn't going to suddenly turn around and say, forget it, I'll paint. You know, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
I wanted to sing and dance and entertain. And it was marvelous. Unfortunately, you know, my mom passed away before Cabaret came out. So even before The Sterile Cuckoo came out. So she saw me on Broadway, but she never saw me.
You never saw
in
the
a film.
major successes?
No.
You must regret that, looking back on that.
No, I don't. I think that it's all okay. It turned out for everybody the way it should, you know.
Yeah, because your mum's was, of course, a tragic end.
Not really.
No?
No, I think that, well, see, people have a misconception about her whole life, let alone her end. She was a very strong, very kind of happy woman, and she didn't like that to be part of her public persona because she felt it was nobody's business. But she had a huge humor about everything. And even though she died young, she did everything she ever wanted to do in her whole life. She took every moment and she ate it. It was just marvelous.
Yes, you didn't, but it was sad that you went so young, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, that, well, yeah, sure. I was sad when my father went at 84. I mean, I'm sad when anybody goes.
Well, of course, yeah. Yeah. Let's have a look at that, because really the thing that really made it for you was that enormous success in Cabaret.
Yeah.
And then the Oscar as well. That possibly more tremendously decadent atmosphere.
Yes, well, it was Berlin in the 30s.
Berlin, I don't remember it myself, but let's have a little vignette.
When you haven't any coal in your stove and you freeze in the winter and you curse to the wind that you face. When you haven't any shoes on your feet, your coat's thin as paper and you look 30 pounds underweight. When you go to get a word of advice from the fat little pastor, he will tell you to love evermore. But when hunger comes around, rat-a-tat at the window. At the window. Who's there? Hunger. Oh, hunger. See how love flies out the door. Money makes the birds go round, the birds go round, the birds. Money makes the birds go round, the clinking, clanking sound of money, 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 money. Get a little money, 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 money. Mark a yen, a buck for a bound. That clinking, clanking, clunking sound is all that makes the birds go round. It makes the birds go round.
Sorry, now that I look at that, that's got a very rude ending to it, then.
Well, the whole thing is rude.
Yeah. If I'd heard that in time, I wouldn't have included that, you know.
What, you
Before the
wouldn't-
watershed, we don't break wind.
Well, I'm telling you, Joel Grey and I couldn't believe it when Fosse, who directed it, Bob Fosse directed it, wanted us to do all of these moves, and it was like this ritual dance and a lot of shaking of body parts.
Yeah.
And at first we were kind of shy about it. And suddenly he gave us this big lecture, and the next day Joel and I were just shaking everything we had, you know. And that's what he wanted.
Yeah. Well, Fosse, yeah. You've got such a good voice and everything. You sorry you weren't around in the heyday of the musical, in the, you know, when they were doing South Pacific and all those wonderful musicals. I mean,
Sure. I think it would have been wonderful to be around then.
yeah.
But I've been awfully lucky. I mean, when you think of to have one film like Cabaret is incredible in one's career, but then to have New York, New York on top of that, which is a whole different, you know, can of beans. But to have the songs from that written for you, I mean, that's terrific. So I feel like I've at least been in there a little bit.
Yeah. What's the best bit of what you do? You do so much. Acting, singing, dancing, cabaret, movies, television. What gives you the biggest kick? What do you like best?
Well, I think it all comes from acting. You know, it's like in the singing, I think at its best is acting with music. Acting is just making the words absolutely real. And even dancing is movement that's acted well. And that's why I always, in my songs, I always look for the lyrical content. If there's a woman I can understand, if there's something that I can relate to. It's why why I looked up the Pet Shop Boys.
Good. Well,
Because of their words. Their words are fantastic.
well, while you were here in April, you actually recorded a new album, didn't you?
Yes.
With them. So would you give us a song from it?
Really? All right.
Here she is, with those Pet Shop Boys, and Losing My Mind.
The sun comes up, I think about you. The coffee cup, I think about you. I want you so, it's like I'm losing my mind. The morning ends, I think about you. I talk to friends and think about you. And do they know it's like I'm losing my mind? All afternoon doing every little chore. The thought of you stays right. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you. Spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind. While afternoon doing every little chore, the thought of you stays right. Sometimes I stand in the middle of the floor, not going left, not going right. I dim the lights and think about you, spend sleepless nights to think about you. You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? Or am I losing my mind? You said you loved me, or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? Or were you just being kind? Or am I losing my mind? Losing my mind. Losing my mind. Losing my mind. Losing my mind.
The guest now whose passing left a huge gap in the world of entertainment, making it a much less exciting place. Robin Williams was always so full of energy and ideas, so all he had to do was light the blue touch paper, retire, and he was off like a rocket. And when he came on the Wogan show to talk about his wonderful performance in the film Good Morning Vietnam, he seemed to think the flowers we had on set made the place look like a funeral parlour.
Right. We are gathered here to mourn his loss. Dearly beloved, he has passed on. Not praise him. Know who he is. Amen. Jimmy Swaggart Bass Products and his new magazine, Repent House. This is amazing. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I love this. This is kind of a Jackie Stewart kind of room. Just go around the walls.
Aye.
Aye.
A little on the dull side.
No, but that's great, though. You know, the type of thing where the cat would go, where am I?
This is actually about your second visit here, really, as a performer. Last time was for the Prince's Trust with Prince Charles and Lady Diana.
Yeah.
You enjoyed that?
It was fun. It was very scary, though.
How did you get on with Prince Charles and Lady Diana?
I was amazed that I'm so glad he laughed. I was just like, oh, thank you, Lord. No, off with his head. Every so often I would look up at the box like, is it going well? Thank you. Obviously you can hear it, but... it's not going... So, I know I couldn't say it that night. Now they're going, and don't ever say it now. But it was nice that he liked it. I think he had a great time.
Do American comedians, or the people that you perhaps work with in the various comic workshops that you do, they do a lot of stuff on our roars? Do they imitate them?
No, not too. I mean, they make remarks. I think just physical remarks. They talk about it. I mean, obviously, just what I just did just then, and people went, "That's maybe our future king." We don't talk about your president looking like a turkey neck. No. All right. They talk about something. I don't think anyone does impressions. I mean, a few people talk about Margaret Thatcher. I once said that she seemed like Julia Childs on steroids, and it's I had Ronald Reagan calling her at night going, "I've got something for you. It's a missile." Shh. I can't talk now. Misha's here. Tried obviously, there's another one that went. But I don't think too many people know about English politics. I mean, I went to visit the House of Lords, which was amazing. I've never seen so many old people in one place. It was wonderful. It's nice to see them voting, going, time to vote, Lord Simmons. What? Here. But then the House of Commons was, God, it was like a brawl. I mean, no! Yeah, oh, here! No! Oh, that's just roll call. Fine, here we go. It's like Congress meets West Side Story. It's like, da-da-da-da-da. Labor Party, here we're party. It's wild. I love watching it, though. I mean, just coming over and seeing the different perspective is great.
Yeah. Well, we're always glad to see you. I mean, the first time we really, you impinged on the consciousness was in Mork and Mindy, and it was all that nanu stuff and Shazbot.
Yeah.
You make all that up as you went along as well?
That one I did, yeah. I mean, that was basically the same thing as Good Morning Vietnam, just my act, things that I was playing with. I mean, I would do stuff in clubs, and then they would put it into the scripts the next day.
Yeah. Do you get, when you do impersonations, do you upset people? Do they? Has anybody written you a stinging letter?
Stallone, I don't think, was too happy. I used to do a thing about him in Hamlet, going, you know, to be a what? You know, I don't think he was real happy about that. He didn't come after me. He's come after friends of mine and got very angry because they've talked about a lot deeper stuff. But I don't think Reagan's exactly joyous about what I do. You know,
Yeah,
implying that he's the world's largest Muppet is not a happy thing.
A lot of Reagan fans in the audience tonight.
Hey, well, oh.
Your stand-up routine, though, isn't just based on impersonations. You create characters yourself.
Characters, yeah. Talk about different things. Some of them personal, some of them talk about my son. Sometimes I talk about sexual relations. Sometimes I talk about, I mean, it's the whole gamut, which is nice. That's why I do it, because it's totally free for me.
So the cartoon characters that you grew up with, they were your comic heroes, were they? Or
Yeah, that and Jonathan and Peter Sellers. I mean, watching...
How did you come across the Goons? How did you come across a British sense of humor?
I don't know, I think my father had one of the records. That was also weird because you had a picture backstage of Morecambe and Weiss. My father he had records of theirs, too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's extraordinary.
He collected from all over the world, but that's why I got to listen to those. Yeah, just remembering the voices and seeing Peter Sellers before Dr. Strangelove in there's a movie he did called The Party, where he take the party, like that.
That's right, the big party in Hollywood.
We're running around going, cut quick there! Yeah. And, characters like that, you know?
Yeah, you were Oscar nominated for the role in...
Yeah, it was real close.
Do you like those showbiz? Are you steeped in the lore of showbiz? I mean,
No.
you love all that stuff?
No, I mean, going to that ceremony that night, it was very strange, because you're sitting there, and then when they announce someone else's name, you're like, really? And you want to be able to go, hey, Mike! You know, and you can't. You have to just sit there and smile like, I'm so happy for you. It's a strange night. Under every chair, there's a little pool of Dom Perignon. And you look out and see all these happy faces like, just die right now.
You live in San Francisco, don't you?
Yeah.
It's
a type of town, I mean, I left Hollywood because I kept worrying about my career too much.
Yeah.
But you go in San Francisco. San Francisco is the type of town that even Fellini would go, no. When you walk, you're going down the street and you see a transvestite nun, and you go, okay. And that's like, okay, that begins the day. And then it's from there, it's crazy. I mean, I have friends who've taken so much medication, they'll sit at a stoplight and go, shh, there's got to be another color.
Music, maestro, please. A living legend, Tina Turner, along with Elton, a guest on the first ever Wogan, with one of her most aptly titled hit songs, The Best.
You come to me, give me
Well, that was a typically understated performance there. Wonderful. That's riding high on the charts at the moment. So how is the old career going? Pretty good.
Ah, fantastic.
Yeah?
It is.
And what about your life? You seem happy.
I'm pleased. I'm happy a lot of the times. It's not every day, but it's most of the time.
Yeah, we can't all be happy all the
That's
time
right.
anyway.
Yeah,
You're a
that's
great survivor. You don't mind being called a survivor.
No, because it's reality. I've survived a feat, I would say. My parents, the section of when my parents left, and then the drifting into the marriage, and then so it's been quite a lot.
Yeah. What was it about you think that helps you survive? What is it?
Do you have time to hear?
Yeah. Of course we have.
No, gosh, it was a lot. I've always been a loner, really, and I've always depended on myself. And when a decision was to be made, I simply need someone to basically help me to do it, and that was my relationship and partnership, basically, with Roger Davies. And I would say my practice and my spiritual beliefs. And I'm just kind of a strong person.
Did you ever feel like giving up? There must have been times you thought.
Well, I think I did give up in the book once, but I was saved. Right.
You were saved. How were you saved?
I do have to talk about that. Well, I took some sleeping pills, and I tried to go away very easily. Yeah. Rather than jumping off of a building or something, I wanted to sleep. And so I was awakened by a knight in shining armor, Ike Turner. Just his voice sort of brought me out of the really deep sleep. And after that, I decided, well, this is apparently my destiny, and I won't try that again.
What did he say? Something like, "Don't die or I'll kill you."
You did read that, didn't you?
One of the great lines in pop, that is.
That's right.
Yeah. Now, you came across to England in the 60s, didn't you?
Yes.
That's when you came over here first. And, you know, the British and I think the Europeans have taken you kind of to their heart. I mean,
Yes.
Are you happy when you're here? Do you feel different when you're here?
I came here in 1966 was the first time. Rivers Deep Mountains High was a huge success in London. And I was thrilled. London was leading in fashion, the mini dresses. It was it. I had an energy. There was an energy here that brought something out in me that excited me. And I look forward to coming back each time. And then after that, my career started here many years later with Martin Ware producing a song called Let's Stay Together. Yeah. And I've been basically living here at the St. James's Hotel, straight through, basically working in Europe, working here, and working with most of the musicians here. It just became home. And so then I finally got a place here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got to play. Are you going to settle here? Is this, or will
I've
America always be home for you?
No, this is it. I've lived long enough to know when I found my place, and traveling here since 1966, and now finally getting a place here, I basically have decided to live on this side for the next half of my life.
Well, obviously they don't want you here, but I'm glad you're here anyway.
Thank you.
Elton, Liza, Robin, and Tina. God, I'm spoiling you and myself today. And there's more. Sammy Davis Jr., no less. I describe him as the unforgettable Sammy Davis Jr., except until someone reminded me the other day, I'd completely forgotten he'd come onto the show. But, you know, it's an age thing. This is all coming as much of a surprise to me as it is to you. Anyway, here we are, talking about the early days of Sammy's incredible career. You had a lot of prejudice, which I hadn't been aware of until I read your book, that particularly when you and your uncle and your dad went to play Las Vegas.
Oh, yes.
You'd play a hall in Vegas when it was beginning to expand as a great entertainment center.
Yes.
And you'd find that you couldn't stay in the hotel you were playing in?
No, there was no staying. You couldn't eat in the hotel. And I'm not speaking about 1930 or even the 40s. I'm talking 50s. Every big black star that worked Las Vegas, that helped build it up. I'm speaking of Lena Horne, Nat King Cole, Billy Eckstein, the Mills Brothers, the people who helped not only that town, but our business, and contributed in such a way, and would pack the joint. We could not walk through the front. This is in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you could not eat in the restaurant. To forget gambling, there was no, you couldn't get up to a table. They wouldn't allow you in the casino. That's the truth.
So you performed, and then you had to go out the sideway.
Out the sideway,
down
and if
the
you
street
had...
to the ghetto. And
that was the only place. But there is mixed emotions about that. And I guess I had to live to be 63 years old to realize it. That by integration, we lost a great deal. We gained a great deal when everything started to integrate in terms of acceptance and this, that, and the other. But in that, what we call, quote, the ghetto, was all our culture. You understand what I'm saying? There was the colored barber shop, and I say colored because that was the terminology used in those days. There was the colored rooming house where we all stayed. There was community. And because we all suffered these indignities, it brought us, as black performers, closer together. And we shared experiences, and we hung out. Soon as it started to open up like this, and everybody could stay at the hotel they were working in, we very rarely saw each other anymore. And it's a shame. We lost that. It's too bad we couldn't have maintained a little better balance.
now you met Sinatra early in your career,
Yes,
didn't you?
when I got out of the Army.
Where did you meet him?
I still had my Army suit with the gold bird on it, right? See? And I could get free tickets. No, that's true. And you'd go up to NBC or CBS, and you'd say, point at your thing, and you had your hat on. The guy say, oh, well, the soldiers have come first. Discharged soldiers come first. They'd give you tickets. And one day, I'd been at the show. He was doing the Old Gold show then at the time. And I'd been at the show, seen it like 3 weeks in a row. And he recognized me because, first of all, there weren't a lot of black people going to see Frank Sinatra at the Old Gold show, you know. So he kept looking out at the audience like this, you know. So he comes out one day, and I'm standing by the stage door, and he looks at me and he says, didn't we work together once? And I said, yes, but it was only 3 days. We replaced an act when he was with Tommy Dorsey. He remembered. He said, yeah, you work with your family. I said, yeah. He said, hey, you come to see, he said, you're out, huh? I said, yes, I am. He said, you want to come next week? And I said, oh, could I? He said, yeah, come and watch rehearsal. And he turned to one of the guys. His man at the time was named Hank Sanacola. He turned to Hank Sanacola and he said, see Charlie over here? I said, my name is Sammy. He said, it's Charlie. He said, you see Charlie over here? When he comes here, make sure that he gets in for the rehearsal. He said, see you next week, kid. He got in his car and drove off, and it was heaven. I walked back to the hotel we were living in from Hollywood down to Fifth Street, man. It must be 20 miles. I just walked in heaven, floating lightly, you know, because I had met this man, and he remembered me. And that was the second beginning of our relationship.
How much influence did he have on your career?
It's immeasurable. Immeasurable. First of all, I wanted to be like him. I wanted to dress like him. I wanted to look like him. You know, I took my hair and had it all done up with the curl cues down here.
Yeah. But you can impersonate him.
Oh, I used to. I used to do it.
Can you still do his voice?
No, I don't do him anymore.
If I cock my eyebrow at you, what song do you think it means? Look at this. What does this eyebrow mean?
Well, it's either... I'm going to follow you with the microphone. Hello. First of all, I would like to say that there was no rehearsal for this, and I'm putting the gentleman in the back in somewhat of a bad bind, but I think we'll be able to manage. They're all good friends.
I wasn't prepared for you to come up here.
All right, I knew they weren't expecting it. Give me something about here. Give me a keynote. She gets too hungry for dinner at 8. She loves the theater, but won't arrive late. She just won't argue with someone she hates. That's why the lady is a tramp. Won't go to Harlem with Sharpies or frauds. Won't be caught dead in a Lincoln or a Ford. She won't dish the dirt with the rest of the girls. That's why the lady is a tramp. She likes that free, fresh wind in her hair. Her life's without care. She is broke, but it's oak. Hates California, it's so cold and it's damp. That's why the lady, that's why the lady, that's why the lady is a tramp.
That was really nice. You're a good man. You're a good man, Sammy Davis.
The unforgettable Sammy Davis Jr. There, I've said it. Now, you don't get to meet stars of the caliber that you've seen today without some of that showbiz magic rubbing off on you. Now, over the years, I've picked up more than a few tips. It became pretty clear that if the BBC hadn't kept me prisoner in Shepherd's Bush for all those years, I could have had a very different career, you know. Anyway, I'm leaving you with the proof. The great Welsh opera singer Sir Geraint Evans, and the wonderful vocal skills of myself, really. I don't know whether you'll enjoy it, but take it easy.
What are you doing?
Pirates of Penzance.
Let's have a little bit of dignity, please.
Oh, but it's my show.
I don't care whether it's your show or not. This is good music. Carry on. We public guardians bold yet wary,
and of ourselves we take good care.
To risk our precious lives we chary.
When danger looms, we're never there.
No. Take good care. And there.
I only asked
hold it. Well, the note is a minimum now. You must hold it longer than that. To risk our precious lives we chary.
When danger looms, we're never there.
But when we meet a helpless woman,
or little boys who do no harm,
we run them in.
We run them in.
We run them in.
We run them in. We show them where the bold gendarme.
We run them in.
We run them in.
We run them in. We run them in. We show them with our bold gendarmes. Very good. Very good. Sometimes our duty's extramural.
The little butterflies.
That's all very well. All very well.
If I'd known this was going to be a serious song.
You're singing well now. Stick to it. None of these hanky-pankies around here. Sometimes our duty 'tis extramural.
The little butterflies we chase.
We like to gamble in things rural.
Commune with nature face to face.
And to our beat, then back returning.
Refreshed by nature's holy charm.
We're running,
We're running,
we're running,
we're running. We show them we're the bull gendarme.
We're running,
We're running,
we're running, we're running. We show them we're the bull gendarme.
With that and the floral dance, I could have been a contender. Ah, well. See you next time.